Welcome to Empowerment Sessions. I'm your host, Celeste Payne, and today we're diving into a powerful realization that God did not create you to blend in. Just like fine art, each of us is a masterpiece fearfully and wonderfully made with intent and purpose. Our first segment today is recognizing your unique design. Let's start with Psalms 139, 17 and 18, which says, "How precious to me are your thoughts, God! How vast is the sum of them! Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you." These verses remind us of our immense value in the eyes of our Creator, who thinks of us more than there are grains of sand in this earth. This brings me to point one: reflect on your uniqueness. Take some time daily to meditate on Psalms 139, recognizing that you are a unique creation with a purpose only you can fulfill. Write down the qualities that make you different and thank God for them. If you have challenges identifying those unique qualities, just ask someone that you know will tell you the truth. That could be a friend, it could be a coworker, it could be your supervisor, it could be maybe one of your teachers or professors. Ask them and they'll give you some hint as to what makes you unique, and write that down and add it to your prayer list also. Moving on, Jeremiah 1 and 5 tells us that before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. This verse underlines that our uniqueness was intentional, crafted even before our birth, which brings me to point number two: that you have to identify your calling. Spend some time in prayer and reflection to understand the specific tasks and roles God has set you apart for. Embrace your differences as God's designed to fulfill these unique assignments. One of the things that I tell people is that your unique calling is usually what you're very, very good at, what you do effortlessly, what other people say is difficult that you can do with ease. I'm telling you, that's a part of that calling. And I would pray into that and I ask God to show me how He wants to use that to make this world a better place and to advance His kingdom. Lastly, for this segment, Jeremiah 29:11, which happens to be one of my favorite scriptures, assures us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." God has a plan for each of us, a blueprint designed to bring out our best and not to blend in with the crowd, which brings me to point three: trust God's plan for you. I'm going to challenge you to write a letter to yourself from the perspective of God based on this verse, reminding you of His loving intentions for your life. Let this be a source of encouragement when you feel tempted to conform. See, you're not meant to blend in. You're a unique masterpiece created by God. Reflect on your uniqueness, identify your calling, and trust His plan. Stay tuned for the next segment where we'll explore more on embracing and valuing your uniqueness. Welcome back to Empowerment Sessions. In the first segment, we talked about recognizing our unique design by God. Now, let's explore in segment two how to live out your uniqueness boldly. 1 Peter 2 and 9 describes you as a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you might declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light. This verse is a powerful reminder of our identity and purpose. This brings me to point four, which is you have to embrace your identity in Christ. I challenge you to create a declaration of faith that includes these truths about who you are. Speak over your life daily, especially when doubts about your value or purpose creep in. In Luke 1:45, we find encouragement in the promise, "Blessed is she who believes that the Lord will fulfill his promise in her." This speaks of the blessings of believing in the fulfillment of God's promise, including the promise of our unique purpose and value. Which brings me to point 5, to live in expectation of God's promises. I challenge you to keep a journal of the promises you are believing God for, including scriptures that affirm your unique calling and identity. Review and pray over them regularly. A list of the promises of God are included in your personal empowerment plan subscription for this week. So go ahead and make sure that you visit celesteempowers.com and sign up today. Together, these verses and actions encourage us to not only recognize our unique creation by God, but to live confidently in that uniqueness. It's about seeing ourselves as God sees us, valuable and purpose filled, and stepping into the roles He has designed specifically for us. Remember, God didn't create you to blend in. You are His masterpiece designed to stand out and shine His light in a unique way. Embrace and value your uniqueness, for in doing so, you display the creativity of God, the Creator. Thank you again for joining us on Empowerment Sessions. Until next time, remember to shine bright, embrace your uniqueness, and live out the incredible purpose God has for you.